welcome back to Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze. The zealot has you by the throat. You do not see a single glint of mercy or pity in their eyes. No. You see a burning passion, a burning hatred like an ember. You are foul to them. You are a witch, an embodiment of heresy. Your people brought forth the black goat of the woods. Your people delved into the arcane and the profane until the continents crumbled into the endless sea. It was you. And it was your people who woke in the trees, gave them legs, and began that which you've been fighting to this day, the dying of the earth.
I attempt to stab them in the back. Literally.
Right as the music ends.
Yep.
Right as the music ends.
The timing.
Thank
I was
you
waiting.
Beautiful.
so much, Roll, for sponsoring us for this amazing game. Thank you. And also thank you for having this amazing app where we can seamlessly integrate all of our dice rolls, all of our maps, all of our tokens, this amazing library of free content from the Morkborg supplement, and a music library that I can control at the click of a button. Thank you for organizing all of that to orchestrate that amazing moment. This series has been so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having such a blast.
I love it. I never get to play in this sort of world, and it's so much fun.
It's my favorite.
And I feel so comfortable to play with all of you. Like, that's the best part.
I've never seen you play this type of character.
I love
before.
it.
Oh my
I want to
goodness.
see you as like a grave digger now.
I would never.
Yes, you would.
What is that? Grave what?
Grav?
What?
Grav digger? Gold digger,
yeah.
not grave digger.
Oh my.
But I wasn't kidding.
I did not think you were.
Well,
Roll.
Should I roll for the group initiative then?
No, this is
Oh,
a Craven's act.
Yes, it is.
This is not a strike that Oath sees coming. This is the blade that one does not expect. The blade from a being so lowly, so honorless, that they would do so in secret.
fair. So just D20?
This will be your strength. Yeah. And you just need to beat a D12. Actually, I'm going to reduce the difficulty by 1 because they're unawares.
Nice.
A D11.
Okay, and then I do have a -1 to my strength, but we'll see how this goes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20, but it's a 19.
A nat 20?
Yeah, dirty 19.
But it's still in that 20.
Nat 20.
still not 20.
Roll your damage and double it.
Eee! Okay, so this specific dagger is the vampiric dagger, and I get to vampiric Phoba. Sorry.
Yeah.
On a successful, I'm gonna steal a D3 of success, but it's D4 in damage. So actually, let's clear that.
And you'll gain.
4, and it's 8 points.
Did you roll 2 4s?
Well, I doubled it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yes. So you roll max damage.
Yes.
I
On a
did.
crit.
Well,
None of us saw this happening. completely changed the.
So this has been a very short episode.
See, the thing is they have 7 hit points.
Wow.
Well, now
And
they
have
don't.
armor.
They would be able to roll to reduce this, but on a crit, that protection is reduced 1 tier.
Do they have any armor?
Well, that's what I mean. That
Yeah,
their
that's what it
armor-
was.
Yeah, you're on a crit, the armor is reduced, and that 1 tier of armor turns into a tier 0.
You murdered them.
Just.
Yes. Their rage gets the better
Wow.
of them. They rush forward, like I said, and you see almost an avatar of a white wolf as they do, picking you up. Rage, fury, seething, little bits of spittle kind of coming from the corners of their mouth as they talk about unmaking you and returning you to the foul earth from which you respond. And what does this look like, Xander?
Yeah, they start to sputter and blood shoots out from their mouth as a shocked expression echoes throughout their face. And right between the shoulder blades, bypassing the spine and getting right to the heart of this zealot, they sink down and you see almost a horrified expression on Grin's face as it changes into this expression of glee.
Clutched in their hand, you still see the wicked spider mandible dagger, the bulbous, almost Spido-torso-like clear glass on the end, almost bursting with blood as it fills with not 1 D3, but 2 D3 of healing damage.
Nice. And then as like standing over them, I take the dagger out and unscrew the bottle and just start chugging.
Excuse me, Phoba.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Can I give it to another person or does it have to be for me?
Let me see.
'Cause
I also just feel like
I
you
thought
would
this was
drink
like
it.
flavor, but yeah.
Yeah, I also feel like you would just drink it.
Mm.
Yeah, you're right.
Let me look here. Oh, it's here.
Phoba's dying and watching this.
I mean, it happened so fast, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, it heals you as it harms your target. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So we'll just say
Heals you.
that's the flavor of it, but really
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's no D3 for me to roll in here. Should I do
Oh, is there not? I've actually never really seen a D3.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
D6. One,
And-
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 represent.
Oh, yeah,
1, 2, 3.
yeah. I would, just go ahead and roll a D6. That's perfect, actually. You can
Here
roll
we
2 of them, even.
All right, let's just do that.
Oh my gosh. So that's 3
A 6 and a 3, so that's 3 points and 1 point.
and 2.
Oh no, 2.
2. Yeah.
So 5 points total.
Wow.
I was missing 1.
Isn't that 3 points and 3 points?
Oh wait, you're right because
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
the
1,
4,
2,
5, and
3.
6.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so you heal the maximum of 6. Yeah. You see blood flowing down the sides of Grin's mouth as they greedily just chug this blood and are rejuvenated.
It pours down out through the holes in his mouth, and it's just a mess.
I'm going to say since you overhealed by so much, you gain an omen.
Oh, we'll
Nice.
take it.
Yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you.
I'm sure I just kind of fall to the ground because they were holding me up, right?
Yeah.
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 Oh no. I go to help Phoba.
Yeah. Hapment, you notice now, who was tending to Phoba's wounds, is instead stepping back, disturbed by Grin.
And Grin is in a different place. They'll just sort of get in on themselves and go in the corner and start to rock.
Whatever is happening with you, I'm grateful for it. You've bought me another day, at least. I'm looking down at the zealot now, at Oath, and oh man, there's got to be something. This is a zealot. This is, I think, now who is in charge of a lot, rather than rather than cleansing, I believe that they were doing something nefarious. What do we bring this back to the town and give them whatever evidence of whatever they were doing? Is this? And then you see me just lock eyes on Oath, and I pull out the knife that I had. I don't trust that this is not going to return. And I start to sever their head from their body to make sure that this does not come back as an undead thing.
Yeah.
As you do, go ahead.
You know that even without the head, this is more than 30 pounds.
That's what I was gonna say. But yeah, Grin is just sort of like, meat is meat.
Yes, we bring
And as you're cutting their head off, I start to sing the old song of damnation.
Whoa.
For their soul.
Whoa.
So their soul may get no rest.
You notice that although there was like a kind of desperation to the way that I was cutting off their head, and as soon as you start singing, I slow down and it becomes more of a ritual as I kind of melt into what you're doing and give over to it as well.
Does Phoba melting into this ritual give him any sense of healing, perhaps?
As you melt into the ritual, you notice that the remains of Oath are almost like sanctified in some way. You see some of the scrolls on their armor kind of begin to alight and smoke and wither, and you see others that catch your eyes. Maybe something capable of healing you.
I will, whatever one catches my attention, I will pluck it from their armor and I will speak the words out loud that are on that parchment.
As you enact the rite, you notice you are reading an old poem. One of a creature who forsook the forest to instead bear the loads of man. And that he who carries the weight of others is always welcome in the best of the afterlives. And D2 creatures of your group regain D10 HP each. But you must make a presence check with a difficulty of a D12 in order to enact the rite correctly.
All of us or just Phoba?
Just Phoba, since they're reading from the scroll.
Okay, presence.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
It was DR 12.
18.
Hey.
18.
I feel like with Raven singing and then you reciting this poem, it sort of falls into the rhythm. And Grin rocking in the corner also. It's more of dance rocking. So all of us are sort of working in unison.
Yeah.
Wow.
You succeed in your rite. And for a moment, Deimos even almost appreciates your words and knowledge of his service. Who do you choose to regain 10 hit points?
Well, myself for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone who is hurt?
Only you.
I think you're the only one that's hurt. I guess Hapman has taken one hit point worth of damage.
I think like the here's what I think would naturally happen, because who's been My attention has shifted ever since I saw Raven do something that I had never seen anybody do with that gargoyle. And I am looking to understand the old ways and am a follower of those old ways, but there still remain a mystery lost to time. And so if there is a way to redirect some of the energy that's coming from me, the person that I would funnel it to would be Raven.
As you heal your party, channeling this mixture of more modern, organized church rites with your own more wild, hermetic way of augury, you notice Hapment fall a bit to her knees, her armor heavy in the mud. And as her armored figure bows over, you see first what you think is rain, then realize tears coming from the small slit in her visor.
I turn to Raven. Based on my experience, I'm already going to. What this means to me is this is for you. Go to her. You are causing something in her.
I suppose. And I go over to Hepmet and just lay a hand on her shoulder.
The silence, with just occasionally racked with her gentle sobbing, is almost oppressive. And then, after what feels like several minutes, she finally stops. She looks up at you, her green eyes bleary, still peering at you from within the darkness of her metal tomb. For years, I think I wanted them dead. But I don't know what I've become. I'm not sure I wanted it like that. They were foul, zealous, judgmental, cruel. But to die like a dog in the mud and the muck.
How we die is not a reflection of how we live. They knew what they were getting into. They made the choice to act as aggressor.
But it was not a warrior's death.
Why should we expect one when we live on the outskirts? It's either them or us.
Oh, not for us, Grin. Not for us. Not for people like us at all. But for people like Hapmet. Perhaps for Oath. I expect no warrior's death. I expect no one to mourn me when I'm gone.
I would.
During that exchange, I will have gone to Grin and you would have felt an embrace. And I would have helped you up and walked you over to the others.
Speaking with Phoba under their breath. I wish I could say I did that to save you.
I don't believe that we always know fully the reasons why we do what we do. Maybe there was a part of you that was actually generous. Regardless, I am grateful and I don't care what drove you, so long as you were driven. Hapmet. I am surprised by you. Your pity for this person that wished you ill and was on the verge of murdering me for sure, but would have continued to murder the rest of you. Ruthlessly. And you shed tears for them.
I don't shed tears for them, Phoba. I shed tears for us. Those at the edge of the fire that have to coat themselves in the darkest ash. Coat themselves in sin. Merely to scratch a living together in the dead woods and the rot of the world. We are damned.
But we don't.
You're wrong. It's from the ash we rise. Different, yes. But we rise.
Do you think there's heaven on the other end of all this, Grin?
I can only hope for oblivion.
We should be so lucky.
There is another possibility. We are here in this situation because of the way things are run. And in their desperation, in their own zealotry, they are panicking to appease a king who's become blinded by some misdirected faith, tasking us to do their dirty work, to bring them pounds of flesh in order to save them. They are never, ever the ones to come and do the work. The sheep. Sheeps are meant for slaughter.
Really?
Are they not?
Not all of them.
You're right. Mercy is a virtue. And we could change things. I pull out my vials of poison. I assure you the first people to eat whatever flesh we bring back will be those on the top. And I gesture to the head of Oath that I just cut off. I believe that if we sever the head of the true monster, then we might be able to come up with something that serves everyone a little better.
And we'll watch while they fall.
There's a quiet agreement from Grin as they slowly start placing out cut packets of both the bird meat, setting out some of the eggs, and now starting to prepare some of this other meat. And we're all in agreement.
Because we all know that 30 pounds of meat will not go very far.
No.
And those that need it will not get any.
I gesture to even to Hapmet, whose armor is, too big for their wasted body. You hunters, you're the ones that come. You sustain the group, and you don't even get enough to sustain yourselves. I know you wish for a different way, so that the exiles will be no more. You've done more than enough.
But to balance one's personal beliefs against those that are more holy than me. I don't know what the truth is anymore. Do you? I don't know who is the witch, who is the heretic, and who is the holy man. It's all begun to blur together.
Maybe those categories, including exile, shouldn't exist in the first place.
Do you know what it is that has made me a witch? Curiosity. That is it. I have, since as far back as I remember, have always wanted to learn more, but not just of the old ways that have been lost, but of the new. They just won't teach us. They stay in their palace, and they keep everything from us so that they can remain there.
Those burned by the fire are those that fear it.
I'm not afraid of any fire.
But the knowledges sought by the Archbishop here are what led to
It was his
all of
arrogance.
this.
I think curiosity is a wonderful fuel. But the fires that come from arrogance and this unchecked drive can be dangerous. Which is why you're not meant to go at it alone. You need to have eyes on you, to watch you. You've gone at everything you've done alone. Keeping the fires for those of us on the outside, so we can have some glimmer of a home, a glimmer of a chance. I think there's a new way. There's a new way where we can have access to knowledge, but be careful with it and not allow our arrogance to get the best of us, as it did that Archbishop.
I think I see your point of view.
There are no heretics, no witches. No need to separate the old ways from the new. All of it.
I think we can seldom afford to stick to tradition. The land is crumbling into the endless sea. The strongholds of old are becoming weak. There is an inversion. And who knows? Maybe it'll be exiles that are welcomed with open arms and citizens that are shunned.
Maybe.
When the fool is crowned as king, blades will turn on those loyal who paid with silver. Maybe it's our job to turn our blades on those that pay homage to the Jester King.
I believe so.
And with a sweet song at that.
Do we have enough flesh to fulfill their request? I turn to you, Grin.
I'll take stock.
Mm-hmm.
What does it seem like without the eggs?
Yeah. Without the eggs, you definitely do.
Mm.
You have
Then
something else as well.
We had the bird flesh, the person,
You have the bird flesh, the person,
the 2 eggs,
and from among their effects, you find a couple of things.
oh,
You find a scroll of Knight's Chariot.
Oh. What does that do?
The scroll of Knight's Chariot, at least what Hapment believes, was meant to extinguish the light of the bonfire, an unguent.
Hapment was right. They were trying to do that.
You also find the Aegis of Sorrow, a scroll that allows a creature of your choice to gain 2d6 extra hit points for 10 rounds.
Wow.
Whoa.
A holy shield to protect the worthy. These scrolls sit like they're the only salvageable ones from the body, Grin. And they kind of sit spread out a little bit before you as you discern their meaning.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And these are all the scrolls that were on like other parts of parchment that Oath
Yeah.
had on their body.
Mm-hmm. One of the pieces of parchment, as you pull them, Grin, you notice it keeps going. That it's not a slip that was affixed to the armor, but with wax, but rather a whole parchment. And this thin ribbon, thin but long, I should say, ribbon of parchment, when you read it, is Knight's Chariot. A pitch black darkness that one can summon upon the execution of the rite.
They really were trying to put out the bonfire.
I suppose.
What do we do?
They had too much faith in themselves. Maybe they thought that any township that would exile the worthy was not worthy itself. One can only wonder, surmise at such cruel things.
Or maybe you'd be in control of the bonfire themselves and make those decisions.
That's true.
Not a bad idea.
I want to compare again the handwriting. I know I've done this before, but I just want to double check that the handwriting on these scrolls are different.
The two complete scrolls you find are the same.
Oh, this is interesting. Well, either Oath wrote this themselves or somebody else did and they took care of them. We have enough to return with a completed task, but we have other possibilities of what we might do. What are we agreeing on?
I believe we should deliver the meat with our own additions. Make sure our names are cleared and then sit back and watch. When those at the top crumble, you see who will rise from that.
They may look at us at fault.
Then if they do, we leave. Let the king raise the town.
I see what you're saying. But then you're right, Grin, if they will potentially trace back the affected meat to us, those that delivered it.
Then maybe we shouldn't deliver it. If that is the case, we may not get the reward of our names cleared. How much is that worth? Is it worth sacrificing our comfort and our station to make sure the tower crumbles?
This Hapment starts a little bit and is like, if It's traced back to us. We won't be exiles. We'll be executed.
Or we'll be exonerated, liberating those under the oppressive rule.
What if we swapped our quarry with that of another hunting party's?
This is why we brought you along.
That sounds like a good plan.
My mother used to say, you can't eat fresh steak and still keep some for jerky. But I'm inclined to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
I know just the invisible witch to pull this off. Pat pat on Phoba.
Me. If you think this is the best way,
Do.
Yes.
to set up another group that is in the same situation as we're in.
Let's swap it with a hunter's catch.
We run a risk. We could, as you said earlier, if we cut off the head of this place that's brought misery on so many people, then the credit will go to another group.
As long as the hierarchy is taken down, I don't care.
Then we should set forth. I'll start to gather my things and put them on Deimos.
As you gather your belongings and place them on Deimos, you notice Hapment overturn a piece of stone nearby with yellow chalk.
This is where we are to meet them.
Probably be sacrificed for whatever they were up to.
Especially down in that chapel.
And there is likely more of them. We heard the chanting of many voices.
We should probably leave.
I start to move more quickly.
You move out of this stretch of the forest, leaving this church, the Twilight Church behind you, the night chapel. Night is now rapidly falling. The stars come twinkling out, one by one. And then you hear it. First, one little drip here and there, and then a torrential rainfall. It soaks you to the bone, sheets of water cascading down upon you. And as you look ahead of you, just at the edge of the woods, near the edge of this tar pit that you're standing on, you see behind you Hapment pausing for a moment, looking up at the full moon, the rain washing down on her, as though she is born anew. She bends down, offers a prayer to the chapel, and then turns to meet you all, soaked to the bone, the water sloshing gently in her armor as she moves to meet you. It is impossible to discern what could be lurking in the woods around you. The darkness is your enemy, but it's also your ally. For here in this soaked, drowned, squalid wood, No one can hear your footsteps, and you can't hear theirs. The rain washes you clean. It washes your tracks clean. It even washes the blood off of your face, Grin. You hope it washes the filth of the murder you committed behind you clean. With this fetid sack of flesh on your mount and conviction in your hearts, you make your way back to Unguent. In the gloom, you see a flicker of light nearby, like that of a campfire. First you see one, and then it seems to grow larger, welcoming and beckoning in the distance. Around you, you can barely make out your own silhouettes in the dark, drenched night now. At one point, you have to put out your hands and hold each other by the shoulder so that you don't lose each other in the dark. Everyone roll presence.
For presence, I reduced the DR by 2.
Okay.
Still got a 3.
We
Got a 10.
16.
3, 10, and 16. Oh my goodness.
Phoba, what do your witch eyes see?
Oh, but what do your witch eyes see?
What do they see?
Yeah. You look out into the gloom and see the comforting light of lanterns in a clearing ahead.
Does that register as another hunting party?
You can't be sure.
There are lanterns ahead. I see them afar.
We'll take cover and let you do your thing.
I'm going to prepare the meat that we are going to anoint.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I want to find the most, I guess the cut of meat that is the most appealing. The one that they're gonna want to the one that they're gonna see as like, oh, this is good. This is good stuff. So probably, I think something from Oath. I mean, the bird meat and the egg. I feel like we could take a piece of the other meat and package it in a more appealing way.
To take some of theirs too, so that we have something to turn in.
How much do we have? We only need 30 pounds. We have the eggs. We have a human that weighed more than 30. And a bird. I'm willing to take 2 of the best parts of what we have and put the poison on them and just slip them. I don't want to trade. I want to go in and out.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna suggest just poisoning their meat, but that makes more sense.
Mm.
I'm just thinking what to roll. I think this is gonna be agility
Okay.
because it is a little bit more based on stealth.
And the hat reduces it to 10?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the hat reduces it to 10. Oh, no. Stealth? So that's in combat. My defense is reduced to 10. But stealth outside of combat, I become nearly invisible. So the stealth test is a DR 8.
Wow.
Yeah. So you just have to beat an 8 on this with your agility roll.
Come on. Oh, okay. Wait. I rolled a 4. And meets it, beats it, right?
Yeah.
I have one more omen.
Nice.
I'm going to
The
use my last one.
rune in your pocket shatters as you step out into the night. You notice something. As you creep out into the night, and these lights bob and almost dance ahead of you in the clearing, these lanterns, you are almost about to collide into one, hidden deftly behind a very old oak. But then the rune in your pocket crumbles into dust, and at the last minute, you stop short and put your back to the trunk. You see the edge of the light just barely playing over your dark cloak and then moving away again. Your breath stops short, and you thank whatever you find holy, whatever you find dear, for that heavy torrential rainfall.
Oh.
The light flits away with you just outside of the edge of its purview. And as you look forward, you see them. A hunting party resting in a drenched tent, their packs piled up high on a horse nearby. The guard so clearly asleep. The fire steaming. The tent cannot sustain all of this water on top of it and threatens to snap and dump this load on the people underneath. You're confused for a moment as your eyes adjust to this scene around you. And then you realize what's happening as the lanterns close in, 4 of them on the camp. You've heard of them. Now you see one for the first time.
Oh.
What?
A twisted being of metal with light embedded within, a long, dirty knife like a fingernail, caked in grime and filth and old blood. Wick heads closing in on the camp, preferring to do their murder in quiet.
What? What do I know about these creatures?
You know that they can magically douse nearby light sources and take in that light for themselves, devourers of light.
Do I know them to be consumers of flesh or interested in meat?
You're not sure what motivates these strange creatures, but it does dawn on you that Hap mentioned having to flee from her village as a small child when these creatures descended upon them and murdered many of them.
Oh, man. I know what's about to happen, and their focus is not in my direction at all. At the moment, they're focusing on the tent.
Mm-hmm. And the people sleeping inside. You would know, actually, as exiles, that they tend to skulk on the territories or like on the borders of cities, and they prefer to do their dirty work in stealth.
I am going to... Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang back for a second. I'm going to wait for the chaos that I know is coming to begin. And in that chaos, I'm going to slip one of my poisoned packets of meat into the packs Because my guess is if these things are not interested in food like we are interested in food, then they will do whatever it is that they want to do to the living and leave the packs of food alone, which will then be discovered.
Problem solved.
It doesn't take long. The wickheads descend in on the sleeping camp. As they do, you see the guard, one long silver sliver slipped beneath the ribs. He lets out a cry that rattles in your ears and pierces the night. The camp is up in a matter of moments. 4 people spring from within, drawing weapons and turning to turn their dismay and fear and horror into adrenaline and violence. You have your opening.
I will take it.
Roll your agility.
Okay.
You need to beat a 10 since this is in combat.
As this is happening, Grin reaches over to Raven and to Hapmet to sort of calm them and keep them quiet, and as a reminder that we are staying hidden.
Mm-hmm.
Agility. And I need to beat a 10. Oh, come on. There we go. 17.
You slip in like a shadow. With a 17, you not only place your poisoned quarry in the center of the pile to be discovered, but you even remove an equivalent amount from their packs.
No trade needed.
Very
not with the person.
deftly, you're just able to replace one of their packs with one of your own, and you slip out of the camp like a wraith. The sounds of gore and violence behind you. One lantern head explodes, sending flames licking everywhere. And this is the silhouette lit from behind you see approach your party.
That's a good witch.
I return. As you see probably behind me what's unfolding. Like I said, some people, unfortunately, are sheep. An unfortunate sacrifice. But I dropped the package, hoping that it would be found. But I still have one. I suppose. Just in case. The backup.
Well done.
And then I will also reveal the other meat that I stole from them.
A beautifully wrapped hindquarter of elk. You were able to whisk away from the camp. Your mission is a success. Your journey back to Unguent, now that you've made your way through most of the Sarkosh forest, is one of relative ease compared to what you've been through before. There are times you have to duck for cover and hide. Times where Raven has to sing your way out of a sticky situation. But you're able to make it back to the watchtower now. You notice at the entrance to it, Hapment pauses. She turns around before going in, choosing instead to not go in at all, and says, eyes now like green fire as she looks out at you. This doesn't seem to fit anymore. It feels like we've outgrown it.
I think so.
It looks like we have bigger walls to fill.
You make your way towards town. You buy your admission back into the safety of Unguent's walls with your prize leg of elk. you hear of a camp nearby where another group of hunters sent out met an unfortunate end.
What a shame.
Oh,
But
no.
luckily, their bounty was recovered and is
Oh.
enough for the king's wants. You see his personal guard come and collect it the next day. And Phoba, you see your package very skillfully hid amongst them, carried off by the guard. You hear news later. Something strange befalling the armies in the kingdoms of the West.
No.
And reinforcements needed from Unguent to help swell the diminishing numbers. As the wolves leave and the sheep panic and wonder if there's time to go somewhere else or if they should seek the safety of another bonfire, we see 4 individuals sitting at the edge of the bonfire with grand designs of their own. The weak structure of this pathetic town could topple over with a kick.
Good thing we've got legs.
I mean, I just want to kick something after you said that. I literally kick into the fire to like cause it to kick up.
Yeah, the camera pans with the ash as it burns up and we rise again.
Yeah. As you kick an ember at the edge of the bonfire, kind of reawakening the potency of the sacred oils that are flung upon it every day, smelling jasmine and lavender. As you do so, you see a thin wisp of ash come rising up, and in it you see a hope for your destinies. Exiles no longer. You're still living on the edge. You merely went from the edge of the walls to the edge of the town. But you have grand designs for something far better. And I truly hope in the future we get to see them.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you so much for joining me for this.
Yay!
We did it.
Thank you.
For this mini series of Mörk Borg.
Mörk Bonds.
Mörk Bronze.
Thank you so much. This was so amazing. Let's go around and do some shout outs. Thank you. First of all, thank you to Roll for sponsoring this amazing game.
Thank you.
I love all the tools. We even use the lines and veils tool. Like there's so many cool different little sheets you can make. You can make homebrew games and you can take your homebrew rules and adjust the sheets to reflect them. It's really, really cool. You can use this on tablets, phones. It's perfectly optimized for every device. And it was really great to have an all-in-one kind of system for this. We were able to house our dice, our character sheets, and our cameras and voice comms all over one platform. We didn't have to open 17 windows and crash our computers.
That's true.
This has been so fantastic. I have to say, my personal favorite little thing is having the rolls above your portraits. It's so such a small thing.
Yeah.
But it's so nice to not have to like open a separate window and just have that 17 right next to your head.
I'm just gonna leave it there because
it's a good one.
See it. I was gonna clear it, but then I decided, nah, you stay right there.
But yes, thank you to Roll for sponsoring this very special mini-series. Check out their template builder and check out all of the amazing indie games you can try out on this amazing platform, app.playroll.com. Make sure you check it out. They've got so many games. I had a hard time choosing which one I wanted to run. And I chose Mörk Borg because
I'm glad you did. This was so great.
I like a little bit of grunge with my dice rolling. It was tons of fun even making these overlays. I had such a blast. So, and thank you so much to our players. Let's go around, let everyone know where they can find you and what you're up to. We're going to start with you, Xander. Take it away.
Yeah. You can find me everywhere at Xanderific. That's with 2 R's and 1 F. Right now, I'm filming a bunch of stuff, and I also stream on my regular Twitch channel at Xanderific. I do the entire Legend of Zelda series, so we're playing through that right now. And also TTRPG development, where I'm developing my own system called Thana. Maybe someday available on Roll. Who knows?
Maybe, I mean, and if
With the homebrew, I could probably make it.
and you can make your own custom sheets today. It's fantastic. It's
I know
so
what I'm
easy.
doing the rest of the day.
I can't wait to see Thana. Now I've gotten to play it, but it would be cool to have a platform because
And easier.
yeah, I get confused a little bit.
Specifically for Thana, one of the things that we had been running into difficulty with digital dice rollers is that they would show us the total, but it's a D4 system, so we needed the individual numbers, and this
Yeah.
system does it.
Yeah,
You can
it
see
shows the individual numbers, so you can actually, and then it puts them next to your head, so you can keep them throughout the game.
Perfect.
This would be a perfect platform for Thana.
Exactly.
Tanya, where can people find you? Where can they support your work, and what are you up to?
I'm up to finishing up Rebels Waterdeep, our 15th season.
15. Whoosh.
Yes, 5 years, 15 seasons. That is Sundays, 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Central, 1 Eastern, on Rebels Waterdeep on Twitch. Streaming on my own Twitch channel, Cypher of Tears, CYPHEROFTYR. And then out in the workforce, going back to a day job
Hey.
So
in the industry. So
Pretty cool day
So
job.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, very cool day job.
yeah, so coming at some point to a console and PC near you. The game I'm working on. And then of course Into the Motherlands.
Oh, yeah.
We Green Ronin has saved our bacon, and we will be publishing with them.
Nice.
So yeah, hopefully by end of this year, a print book will be in hands.
Wow. What an
hopefully.
accomplishment. Yeah.
Hopefully.
And when you buy it, take a look, keep an eye out for the stuff I wrote.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. Big moves. Luis, last but not least.
I'm Luis Carazo. You can find me on the internets with my first and last name, Luis Carazo. Put that together, you'll find me everywhere. And there's a TV show that is going to be airing later this year that I have wrapped on. And so I'm an actor, so there's a TV appearance on the horizon, and then other streams and other things that I've done that are in the can to be released that I'm excited about, and I don't think I can quite talk more about yet. But yeah, I'm out there doing stuff and happy to share it. So thanks for watching. Appreciate having you all.
Make sure you go and support these amazing people, and make sure you check out playroll.com. And if you do, let them know we sent you. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze.
Mörk Bronze.